Top 10 foods that were invented by complete accident. Do you ever think while eating your favorite food like how it would have been invented? Most of us would be so happy to work as a chef just to enjoy the wooing experiments that we can do with our favorite stuff. Foodstuff is one of the reasons to travel anywhere, as we're amazed by the taste of the delectable food new places offer. You'd be surprised to know that one of your favorites was mistakenly created. We have a list to stun you with foodstuff that was actually a mistake, nevertheless, turned out to be one of the delectable. 1. Popsicle. Would you believe it was frozen by mistake? The drink on stick was actually a blunder. This fruity treat was invented by Frank Epperson in 1905 and it is tasted by almost everyone. Frank was only 11 years old when he invented this, one of the best delicacies for summer's hotness. He received the soda-making equipment and the curiosity of the 11-year-old child surprised the world. 2. Chocolate chip cookies. Chocolate chip cookies were an accident? We know you must be wondering how such delicious food can be a slip-up, but yes, it was created accidentally. The chocolate chip cookies were meant to be the chocolates at first. The chocolate chip cookies were invented in 1930 by Ruth Wakefield. She and her husband maintained a lodge named Toll House Inn. She was making chocolate cookies for her guests when she ran out of a key ingredient for it. As a solution, she chopped a few Nestle chocolates and put it in the cookie batter. How the guest could have liked the cookies is something obvious. 3. Ice cream cone. Ice cream cone was invented way after the ice cream was well known to the mob. In 1904, Arnold Fornacieux invented the delectable ice cream cones with the help of a fellow vendor and friend. On a summer day, when their business was going great, Arnold ran out of plastic cups for serving ice cream. Luckily, a fellow merchant who used to bake pastries came to help him. He has some waffle left over which he taught Arnold to roll in the shape of a cone that could hold the nice amount of ice cream. Rest we all know how much the customers would have loved it. 4. Sandwich. The first sandwich was created for a neurotic gambler. In 1700s, John Montagu discovered sandwich. He is the 4th Earl of Sandwich who discovered that 2 slices of bread with tomato, onion, mustard and lettuce inside tasted amazing. Besides this, he has mentioned about several stories for the invention of sandwich, like it was invented for the gambler who couldn't miss the intense gambling session for the meal. 5. Beer. If it was not have been the misfortune of Mesopotamia, we'd never have tasted our favorite beers ever. Beer was to be made the bread. Mesopotamians used to store the grains for making the breads out of it later, which used to become humid, causing the grains to ferment into a liquid which always annoyed them a lot. Later it was formulated into beer. 6. Corn flakes. Corn flakes were invented in 19th century by William and John Kellogg. The Kellogg brothers used to work in Battle Creek Sanitarium. In their workplace, it was prominent to know vegetarianism. One day while cooking meal, Kellogg's were looking for a substitute of breads. They first boiled some wheat for long. When they rolled it out, it accidentally fell into corn. As a solution they baked it and it came out as the corn flakes. 7. Potato chips. Yes, it was an accidental invention. Almost every year about 1.2 billion pounds of potato chips are dined. We cannot deny the fact that it is a savior snack in every situation. In 1853, in a restaurant, chef George Crumb was exasperated with a customer who kept sending back the potatoes for being too thick. As a solution, the chef chopped the potato as thin as possible, fried them and covered with perfect amount of salt. The customer loved it and spread the words about it, which made the dish famous. 8. Coca-Cola. John Pemberton invented Coca-Cola in 1886. He was a wounded veteran who was addicted to morphine. He always wanted to create a replacement to morphine. He kept experimenting to create a substitute. One day he put together a small amount of cocaine and cola nuts. He fell for the drink instantaneously and offered to others as well. From that day to now, Coca-Cola is big name in the soft drink business. 9. Coffee. Coffee was invented by goats hundreds of years ago. Caldi used to take his goats to the field, and one day he noticed the goats were behaving differently. He followed the goats to the field and found the bean and leaves of particular tree. After he consumed it, he'd notice the difference. He was able to stay awake and fresh. Later he spread the words about it, and the other people also had it and noticed the end of their trouble of sleeping during the prayers. 10. Pink lemonade. Can you believe the delicious pink lemonade was invented in a dirty laundry? It was invented in 1857. Pete Conklin, a salesman who had a stall at the circus. One day he ran out of water for his lemonade. He started to look for the water everywhere in the premises. When he saw the circus bareback rider who had just washed the red tights in a tub, he immediately took the liquid and sold it, dubbing it as strawberry lemonade.